Hey guys, what is going on? Devon here. Hope you guys are having a good day so far, and welcome to another installment of Kingdom Hearts 101. I'm joined per usual by the man, the myth, the beardless Mr. Josh Music. Josh, say hello!
Yeah. I was like, I gotta do something different this time besides say hello, Josh.
Yeah.
And nothing came to mind immediately.
You just gotta think on the fly of what exactly you gotta say.
This game has got me so whacked. I've been thinking about like what to say about it. Like I couldn't even come up with an intro just then.
Of course, Josh, because you're just thinking about all the amazing things you had to say. Because Josh, today we are talking about the final game in our handheld trilogy and probably the most influential, important game in the Kingdom Hearts series to date. Kingdom Hearts Recoded. There is, Josh, I've just been thinking about this all day today because we finished it last night, but we didn't have time to get to it because just all the amazingness of this game we just couldn't keep it contained. So we needed a whole day.
Good people.
We had to wait a whole day to talk about everything that we had to talk about with this game. So now we're here. We're finally going to talk about all the amazingness that we loved about this game, and of course, making our predictions for the next title that we will be talking about. But let's just get this epic amazingness out of the way. Josh, tell the nice, friendly people what your thoughts are on Kingdom Hearts Recoded.
There must have been something in your cereal this morning because you were overly optimistic about this game.
I'm overly optimistic about a lot of things, Josh.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not as bad. Like I had some time to think about this. It's not as bad as I initially thought. Like first ending it, that's what I like. Actually, having a little bit of time to think, like overthink things. Well, not overthink things. Think things thoroughly and not just overthink it immediately. Overall, like I'm gonna start with the hardest thing,
okay,
which is plot.
Yeah, let's get into it.
At first, my initial response was, "This is Chain of Memories 2, WTF edition." Like this felt like this was like the first like script written up for Chain of Memories, and then Nomura was just like, "This isn't complicated enough. Add more."
Yeah.
And then we'll put it as a sequel. Like his first rough draft where he made like no edits, and then he added a bunch of more stuff to it, and then that's this game. That was my first initial response. Like, what is this like congealed mess of a plot? But thinking more on it, and the fact that you said this was released in episodes for mobile phones, I can kind of see, and thinking back to it, I can kind of see where this was maybe like, well, I shouldn't say maybe, I can kind of see where things were supposed to end as an episode. I can't say for sure, but thinking back to it, just parts seem like, oh, that's definitely like, it feels like an ending part, but the plot kept continuing on. If it just ended like that, and then like, you know, a month later or a week later or whenever the next episode comes out, coming to like a new episode where you've kind of forgotten about the other stuff, it doesn't seem like it would matter as much, and it kind of make more sense. That still being said, the plot, like the first 2/3 of the game are just completely for like the overall story, the overall plot point is not needed.
No,
like the really last third of the game where you're talking with I guess spoilers then. Talking with Naminé, like that's the important part that you should be taking away from this game that go forward with the series, and it's like put at the very tail end of a bunch of just like what is this? What is this?
Yeah.
Like, what usefulness does this have to the series or even in the game itself as a standalone? But like I said, I'm trying to be fair with this. Like, and you also informed me that Nomura came up with the plot and the story for this game while he was intoxicated.
Yeah, the common story around Recoded, or I guess I should say Coded, is that Nomura was in fact very intoxicated when he came up with the original concept. Why he went through with it, we'll never know, but I think that's just a fun little trivia that makes a lot of this game make a little bit more sense as to why it's more nonsensical than some of the other titles that we've come across so far. Because yeah, I'm in the same boat. See, my relationship with Recoded is very interesting because I don't dislike it as much as a lot of people do. I think there are a lot of good qualities for it. The fact that it is kind of its own standalone adventure that doesn't really tie too much into the plot is kind of neat. The fact that it focuses a lot on our Disney cast for a change, which is pretty cool. I think a lot of that is really neat. But yeah, a lot of my big problem with it, like a lot of people, is that the vast majority of it is just fluff. Like you could, like all the Disney, it's basically like Chain of Memories in the fact that its only real purpose is to have Kingdom Hearts 1 on a mobile device again. And the fact that you're going to the same worlds again, it's Sora going and just doing the same thing over and over again with a slight plot reskin is just kind of unfortunate. And yeah, all the really big important plot stuff that you come to this that make this thing worth it are all at the very end. And at the same time, it's just like, why did you not just compact this entire plot into just that tiny amount of it? Like, just yeah, it's I'm glad we took more time to really think about this because there's a lot to unpack with this game.
Don't get me wrong, like there's some interesting stuff that happens throughout the game, even in the first 2/3 that, like I said, just don't really make much sense. But like it just really baffles me on, like I said, I guess considering that these were released as like episodes, they're like the first two feel like little snippets, but the last one really feels like, okay, this is actually like important to the series of the game. This is important to the plot. This makes sense. So I don't know if Nomura was sobering up when he came with the last third, but the first 2/3, like he was just like, hey, this is a great idea. Like,
yeah.
But like, I'm just trying to think, to be honest, like I could only really think about the last third, because the first 2/3, there was even some parts where it's just like, what is going on? Like, I was getting a little bit lost sometimes. Like, unlike Chain of Memories, where sure it was
confusing.
It was a little bit confusing, but like if you gave it a second to kind of kick in, you'd finally get it. This is like, I don't get it. And that was literally the catchphrase of Sora. I don't understand. I don't get
understand.
it.
I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but I can help out. Just like, Data Sora. My God.
Yeah. Yeah, just like, that's what I felt like.
Yeah.
You know what's bad when you write your main character doesn't understand what it's supposed to go, like what he's supposed to do? Like, how can you write a story like that? It's like, I have no idea, but I feel like I must do this because it's important.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How are you supposed to relate to the character when he doesn't even know what he's doing?
I don't know.
Maybe that's a thing. We do relate because we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, maybe Nomura was on that other level where he wanted us to be confused with Sora. It's just like,
it's not supposed to make sense. It's so explainable but confusing.
Yeah.
We're hitting like modern art levels. No, but like I'm trying to really think about so the first third, I guess I'd say, is like where they're in the data trying to sort out the book. The fact that they went into another level within the level, it's just like, okay, we already made this more confusing than it really needed to be. And just like the fact of like, oh, Riku is the journal, like, and then,
or like the journal took Riku's shape just so that we can technically say that Riku was in this game.
It's like, why? Like, I don't get, like, it just, why not have, like, okay, they could have maybe done this, like, instead of doing this, like, old Matrix, like, we're in levels within levels, like, it could have been just pages of the journal have been missing because someone took them, which could have been found, and then leading up to basically the third part of the story. I'm trying to remember what the heck happened in the second.
The second half was the second third was Maleficent and Pete showing up and them causing trouble and whatnot, which I think is another neat thing that I do kind of like about Recoded. Maleficent's actually intimidating again. She actually, because like for the past few games, she hasn't really had that much of a villainous presence, but now here, she's actually causing some shit, and it's actually kind of threatening. Like when she breaks Sora's Keyblade, like that shit was like really chilling. Like, oh my god, just her laughing while all these sparkles are coming around. It's just like, god damn, that's pretty messed up. But yeah,
I felt like that was still part of like the first third. Like in my mind, I clearly remember like
I know Pete like showed up in like the end of that section there, but then like Maleficent started causing some shit, which led into the Hollow Bastion portion, and then and then they had to go inside Riku because they put bugs in him, so they gotta fix the journal on another level of
yeah, I guess wait, let me backtrack. I guess the first third would have been Mickey and the gang talking about the journal, the fact that it's been messed with, and sending in this like data Sora.
Yeah.
And I guess that first third would end once he finds the journal, aka Riku. Excuse me, and then that starts the second third. So I guess the first third, in my mind, like this might not even be thirds. I don't have how many episodes was it?
It was 8 episodes.
How the heck do they break it up in 8? Okay. Anyways, so like up until that point, it was a little bit confusing, but like I could see kind of where they're going. Again, I still think it was more complicated than it needed to be, but once the second third came in, when they're fighting against like Maleficent, and they're fighting these bugs and stuff like that, it's like, what is going on? Like, it's just a journal, like, it's been messed with. Yes, I get this, but like, we still don't know who messed with it. Like, just more questions than answers, it felt like. And then you get to the final third where things start somewhat becoming clear, but it feels like, again, like it's just so disjointed from the rest of the story. Like, I felt like that clearly was like a turning point, and it felt like it could have just been its own thing.
Yeah, I really think that maybe Recoded probably could have used like 1 or 2 more rewrites to like tighten it a little bit more. It probably could have been a little bit more shorter and compact and got to the actual stuff. But I do agree with that.
I can't imagine it, because like it was like we just did the cutscenes, and that was what, 3 hours long?
Yeah.
Like, imagine with gameplay in it. That's a long like handheld game. Like, how long? Like,
I can't remember specifically how long the game exactly is.
Surely, Birth by Sleep was not that long.
Yeah. No, well, we were kind of streamlining it with Birth by Sleep because there was a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, like I can't even remember how, because I technically haven't actually played Recoded itself. I played like a small smidgen of it to get a handle of like what the gameplay was like, which is pretty fun. But like, yeah, I could not actually tell you how long the actual game is. It probably, jeez, yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I just remember feeling a few times watching the cutscenes like, oh, it's gonna end here, and then like it kept going, and it's like
it starts returning the king of you.
It's like, oh, there's more. It's like, what is going on? Like,
it's like after all the stuff at Hollow Bastion, you're just like, okay, the game is done, it's over here, and then Riku's just like, nuh-uh, we still got one more thing to figure out. And then you go on that entire Castle Oblivion tirade, and you're just like, no!
Yeah, like, that's where it felt like that part with Castle Oblivion to the end, felt like that could have been just...
That should have been the whole game!
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Like, maybe change it up a little bit, because, like, add some other new, like, brand new stuff. Like, add some brand new stuff at the beginning. Like, because that was, as you said, they reused so much. It felt like just a reskin of the first game for the most part, with a really crazy plot. it's like, okay, yeah, you can have a little bit of a crazy plot, but like add some new stuff in there. Like, don't just reuse almost every asset you can from like the first game with a few like little like other assets from like Chain of Memories and stuff like that. Like, I'm fine with having like Chain of Memories cross over with this a little bit, but like add some other stuff that actually gives value to the game too, in terms of like plot. But yeah, like that's what it felt like. It felt like as soon as you hit Hollow Bastion to the end, that could have just been the game, and I think it would have been like, sure, it would have been short, but like I said, if you add some other stuff to it, play around with the story a little bit, would have been, I think, a pretty damn good game. But like, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see, like, maybe eventually I'll take the time to watch this online on YouTube as the episodes came out. Like, there's got to be something like that out there, but until then, like, I honestly, like I said, I have a hard time remembering. I kind of remember the beginning, the middle is just kind of a blur, and then Hollow Bastion, or not Hollow Bastion, Castle Oblivion happens, and then it's like, it feels like I just blacked out in the middle. Like, I feel like in Nomura, I just completely black out drunk in the middle, and wake up and be like, oh yeah, now I gotta add an ending to this.
Oh yeah.
So, with that over and done with, plot all over the place, not as bad as you would initially think. If you really remember that this came out in episodes, that might help with it a little bit. And the last bit of it, pretty good. I would actually say I really like the ending plot points. Like the Castle Oblivion stuff onwards, I really like. I actually, because that's what I was thinking, like, oh, this is all gonna tie in. Like, there's no way. There's three. Like, Nomura loves his threes. His group of threes. Like, there's no way these guys aren't like all somehow gonna be connected in some way and form. Like, I it's like on the tip of your tongue through the other games. And it's like, yes, finally, they confirm it. I'm psyched. Nice. Why the heck were the first 2/3 of the game so darn confusing? Why? So yeah, plot. That's my thoughts on it. So gameplay, we didn't really do, but you said it's in between.
It's the gameplay for Recoded is kind of like an amalgamation of Birth by Sleep and Days, where the command deck is how you actually play the game, but leveling up and stuff like that is similar to the panel system from Days. And for the most part, they both kind of work in tandem pretty well with each other. From what I've played of it, it's actually pretty smooth and pretty fun to play. So I'd recommend, if you have a Nintendo DS, seek out the game and try it for yourself. But as far as this cutscene collection, guys, don't just find the best parts on YouTube and just go from there. Don't trouble yourself with the 3 hours here.
Like, there's got to be, well, just like Star Wars, there's got to be someone who's edited out all the fluff.
Oh yeah,
there's got to be like,
there's probably like a recut of Recoded. Recut coded floating around somewhere on the interwebs for you guys to check out.
I will add, before I forget this point, what I did like is the fact that this time anything that was covered with text, the voice of Mickey was reading it, which was kind of nice. That was a good, like, good on them.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice recap.
I will say too, like, excuse me, the fact that compared to, now I'm remembering a little bit about Days, it was confusing, but at least it was a little bit less disjointed. I felt like Days, like, it was a little jarring sometimes when the fact that it would tell you, like, so many days have gone by and you're like, holy, like you're a little bit like taken back by, like, every so often it's like, oh, 5 days passed, okay, that's, and then, 45 days passed by. Wait, what? What? Hold on. It's like, okay, that's a lot of time that just suddenly just, you know what I mean? Like, so, but Days had a way better plot overall. Just that part in comparison, since they're both part of the mobile trio, I think that, or trilogy?
Yeah, trilogy.
that part at least I'll give that slight knock to Days compared to this game, which is really that's setting the bar really low.
Quite the bar, yeah.
But yeah, so gameplay, I guess, fun. It's kind of in between the two games.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that, as you said, they kind of focus a little bit more on the actual Disney characters. Like, it was kind of cool to see, like, Mickey say, like, oh yeah, I wasn't there for this. And it's nice to see, like, what Sora's going through that you and, you know, the boys.
The boys.
The three of them went through, and then Mickey wasn't a part because he was doing his own thing.
That's another thing I really like about Recoded is... when they're focusing on the Disney cast, they're giving Donald and Goofy their due. The Hollow Bastion visit, that's that good shit. That like, because like Donald and Goofy start venturing out to help Sora when he doesn't have the Keyblade. Like, yes, to help him, but because they fucking miss going on adventures with them, and it's just like, oh, that's that wholesome shit. I love it. Oh my god.
And the fact that it really showed that like Sora can be vulnerable. But his friends are really helpful. So, yeah, I do like that point.
Yeah.
So, like this easily, you can see like this has the right parts of a Kingdom Hearts game, just not well blended together. It feels like it's just a cake that they added maybe a little bit too much eggs and just undercooked it.
Yeah.
So like the thought was there, just the in practice combination of everything just didn't end up well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you were able to explain Recoded on paper, it could probably make a little bit more sense. But it's actually kind of the reverse of how things in Kingdom Hearts usually work, because on paper they sound... Because a lot of things in Kingdom Hearts, when you explain it on paper, it doesn't really make sense. But when you see it in practice, you're like, okay, I can kind of get that. Recoded is like the one time where it's the inverse. Where it's like, you could probably make sense of it when you see it on paper. But when you see it in practice, you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm so lost.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there's one thing I wouldn't know what happened in Days. Wait, no. Never mind. The one thing I guess I'm kind of happy about this, no new enemy type again.
Yeah.
I guess, but like I guess the boss
bugs
at the end and
Yeah.
the bugs, but like it wasn't like really like super in your face like, oh, we have a new enemy type called the Schmiggle-Giggins.
The Schmiggle.
I don't know. Like we've got enough like you got your Heartless.
I want that on a T-shirt somewhere now. Hashtag Schmiggle-Giggins.
You got your Heartless, your Nobodies, the Unversed, and your Schmiggle-Giggins. But like I'm glad. I was like, if I see any more enemy types, I swear, somebody's gonna get a backhand.
Oh no.
No, like I mean I don't mind, but like it feels like to the point it's like, oh my god, why? Like we already had like, why? How many more enemy types can you add? So, yeah, that's that little positive note about it. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that this is hopefully the worst of it. hopefully this is the worst quote unquote Kingdom Hearts game, but it like I don't know.
Yeah, I will usually say this is, as far as the community's reaction to the series is concerned, this is the bottom of the barrel right now in terms of plot. So we should be okay. But I'm trying. On that note, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to
Predictions,
add
I guess.
Yeah. So I guess. Well, I don't really know, Josh, because we've finished the handheld trilogy. We're done. There's no other games to go into after this. We can go straight into Kingdom Hearts 3. There's no other games to talk about. Nothing at all. No other title that we're going to have to play through and spend another 16 hours playing through that's going to cause me to lose my mind. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And you're smiling at me thinking that I have a bit going, but no, it's oh god. Okay. So
you know what's funny? Before you say anything, I don't know how. I don't know if this was some time ago that you've told me about this, or if I just remember hearing about this for some reason, but I know the fact there's a 2.5. Okay. So I know that it was a load of bull.
That's the 2.5 is the HD collection for 2 and Birth by Sleep and Coded. But,
that's
what? Don't just okay. I'm gonna go through some history. So
okay, I'm listening.
So yeah, so around the time that Birth by Sleep came out and Recoded was being put into production, I believe it was E3 2010. It was around the time that Nintendo had unveiled the Nintendo 3DS, their new handheld system, and they announced a handful of titles that were going to be coming to it, and one of them was an untitled Kingdom Hearts game. It was just called Kingdom Hearts 3D at the time. So, cut to 2011, Recoded had just come out on the DS, and officially Square had unveiled the next game that would be coming out for the 3DS, Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. At the end of Recoded, we got the tease that because Ansem and Xemnas are both gone, they've been destroyed, this is going to lead to Master Xehanort's resurrection. Smeagol's coming back, basically. Yensid and Mickey don't know in what capacity, but they need to be ready, so Yensid has called forth Sora and Riku to take part in their own Mark of Mastery exam. So, to prepare them for this coming battle with Xehanort. So, basically, that is the plot of Dream Drop Distance. Called... because it's called 3D, there's 3Ds in the title. Fucking Nomura in his titles.
Oh my god, how did that...
So...
What is with this?
Like, I don't know.
What?
I don't know. So...
Okay, continue.
So yeah, the following year in 2012, on for Kingdom Hearts 10-year anniversary, Dream Drop Distance was released. We will be tackling, however, the HD version of the game that was released a part of the PlayStation 4 collection called. Get ready for this. The PlayStation 4 collection, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
What a name.
Yeah, we're not even into the thick of it yet, but so that will be the next game that we are going to be playing through, will be Dream Drop Distance, the HD version for the PS4. And yeah, it's going to focus on Sora and Riku's Mark of Mastery exam, preparing for the final battle with Xehanort. So yeah, I guess let's get into predictions then. Josh, what are your predictions for Dream Drop Distance?
Sora and Riku will fight floating balls in the first 5 minutes of the game. They're going to be fighting giant floating balls of light with a little bit of darkness swirling around them. Don't forget that part. Until Xehanort pops out from behind the curtain. And
it was me the whole time.
And then they get their Mark of Mastery, and then they become true Keyblade masters. And then Finn. No, all
right.
I do think, I think/hope that they will be training under Master. I guess he's not really Master anymore, but Yensid. I think they'll be taking some lessons from him. First little bit's probably going to be training, and I have a feeling that meanwhile Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are going to be set off to do their own thing, maybe scout out and see what's going on with, Master Xehanort. As they're training, like the boys, Riku and Sora are training, and the other three are doing their stuff with Xehanort. I have a feeling Xehanort's going to come back and fight those three, possibly capture them, and then the boys halfway through the training is going to have to fight them, or maybe at the end of their training, like that's their final test, that they really actually have to do this. Mm-hmm. That's what I suspect, or some variation of it. Maybe Mickey might join him for training with Yensid. Like, I know he's been under his wing for a bit. Mm-hmm. But it would be kind of cool too, like, to see if maybe Yensid would fight Xehanort for a little bit, because so far all Yensid has done is
just sit behind his desk and just like, you must go and do your thing.
Speak to my secretary about this matter. I am not to be bothered while I'm watching Stranger Things. Like, Dude hasn't moved like since day one from his office. He's just sitting up there eating popcorn, watching Netflix.
Actually, no, he's sitting there watching Disney Plus.
Oh, I don't. You shut your. Yeah. No, but I actually too, like another prediction I have, or / hope, is maybe Kyrie. She has used the Keyblade before, not really a whole lot, but she has. So it'd be interesting to see if Jensen's like, you won't become a master right off the bat, but like let's get you some training to help out with this matter. So I have a feeling it's gonna be like basically like a training montage with them getting stronger, while Xehanort's slowly becoming coming back from the dead, and it'd be interesting to see too. Like I have a feeling because he was half of him was a nobody, half of him. Excuse me, it was a heartless. If they have to fight both now in tandem, because, like I said, he was both of them. He had control of both of them. So I have a feeling maybe before he even comes back, they still have to fight both types. Maybe he isn't in control. Maybe they're running around rampant, not really following anything, just destroying everything in their wake, with no planned anything. Yeah, and I have a feeling that maybe some characters would be resurrected. I hope. I'm hoping. Well, they talked about you need to get. They said that they couldn't find Terra still. The fact that Ven was asleep, and I don't think they mentioned Aqua in the last game, did they?
No, they didn't mention where Aqua was.
So I have a feeling that maybe what goes on with Xehanort triggers Aqua leaving the darkness finally and waking up Ven. That'd be a sick ass way to start the game. He shows up and somehow that event triggers her just being ejected from the darkness into the world, and she's just like, holy crap, what have I missed? Oh, I forgot give me a second, I will remember his name. Ansem. The fact that Ansem is also in the darkness. Actually, so scratch the thing, maybe the fact that Ansem helps her, as soon as Xehanort gets thrown in, they're like, oh shit, we gotta leave, and they end up leaving, and then like I said, that triggers Ven waking up finally, because that's what my predictions is. Things are starting to come together more, not as quite complete as a third game would, but I have a feeling at least we're gonna see more character building and strength training with Riku and Sora for sure. That's an easy claim right off the bat. But I'd also like to see Kyrie in there, possibly Mickey as well, but like I said, I have a feeling they're going to have Mickey, Donald, and Goofy kind of do their own thing for sure, and the other two boys are going to do their thing. The rest is all just really, really big guesses. Those first two things are educated guesses, as educated as you can get for guessing, but the rest of it, these are just hopes and dreams, and I hope to come to fruition. But I have a feeling, obviously, because I know there's a third game. Yeah. It may also be very disappointing. Well, I have a doubt that they're gonna actually defeat him. He might just be weakened, and then just kind of vanish and retreat. But I have a feeling he's not gonna die in this one. And if he does, that's gonna be shocking, because I have no idea what they would do for the third game. Then I'd be his. What do they call them again? Schmiggle-Giggins? His Schmiggle-Giggin splits off after he dies and returns for the third game.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my overall prediction. Yeah, Sora, Riku become stronger as they train. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy kind of go off and do their own thing. I hope Kyrie hopefully joins the training. And I hope that Ansem helps Aqua get pulled out of the darkness. That triggers Ven waking up. Those three might either go by themselves and go find Terra, or what's left of Terra as the lingering will, or they end up meeting up with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy on their travels, and then going to find Tara or some sort of like. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I can't wait.
Yeah, those are all some pretty good predictions, actually. Not gonna lie.
Nice. I'm getting better at this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Dream Drop, it kind of operates in the same way that I guess Chain of Memories would, in that it'll because yeah, it's gonna operate in the same way of like building up our characters and stuff like that. So then when we go into 3, shit's just gonna hit the fan. And yeah, I think those are actually some really good predictions, and I'm very interested to see how all of that plays out when we eventually get to the game. So yeah, I think we're gonna jump into Dream Drop right after this. Thank you, Josh, as always, for joining me.
Anytime. I'm loving the series. Yeah, just remember, kids, don't tell your friends to start off with Recoded, or they're gonna have a bad time.
It's gonna be a really bad time.
You're gonna have a hard time convincing them to play the rest of the awesome series.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I don't mean to bash on Recoded as much as probably everybody else does, but yeah, don't do that.
Don't start with this one. But yeah, until then, I would say that has been today's episode. If you liked today's episode, please like the video. It really helps the channel. Leave a comment what you guys think of Kingdom Hearts Recoded, and be sure to subscribe for more content coming soon. And of course, be sure to follow Shadow Shoveler Productions on both Twitter and Instagram for more information on yours truly. And until next time, I'd say that's about it. Josh, you have anything left to say?
This is a shout out to Josh at the beginning of this recording for not thinking of an intro. This one's for you, buddy.
Yeah! Alrighty then. Thank you, as always, everyone, for watching. May your heart be your guiding key. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye!
Bye!